What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the first ever Preach Wizards podcast. I'm John Hayes, and it's about time to preach. All right, welcome to the pod, everyone. Just to give a really quick introduction, I'm going to be mixing some of my piano playing or maybe organ playing with some of the pod. I've hoped to get a little bit better at this as it goes. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure all the things I'll incorporate. I'm just hoping that some of that will add some laughs and try to make a podcast not so dry for you. I'm going to have some hopefully funny intro songs that I'll do in the future based on Wizards wins and losses, and just trying to have fun. So I know there won't be a lot of people listening on my first ever pod, but I'm a huge dedicated Wizards fan. I feel like I've got so much to say about them after they play, even with the Wizards podcast that I would listen to. So I've been dying to do this. Let's just get right into it. So what I wanted to look at today was start to compare the Wizards a little bit to the Western Conference and where some of these other teams sit, because I feel like as Wizards fans, we can be so critical of them, kind of rightfully so, because how they've trended historically. But I do feel like this year we've made some decisions that really separate us from years past. And I feel like I say these kinds of things every year, but one thing that Wizards fans seem to freak out about that I thought was very interesting, I didn't really hear many people talk about this, was what we decided to do at the trade deadline. And Tommy Shepard didn't make any moves, and I think we were all expecting him to. I kind of wanted him to try and figure something out for Will Barton, just to move something. But when they decided to move no one, what that told me, you guys, is that they're investing in this team and in these players. And I get it. Where we are now, it's not like we're going to mess around and be in the NBA Finals, which is the ultimate goal. But you can't go from nothing to that. It's just not possible. You have to make some noise first, especially if you want to attract, players that we'd love to have on our team. On this team, we have to make some noise in this Eastern Conference, and we have a chance to. This week, or these next 2 weeks of basketball, will define the whole Wizards season. And right now it's trending upwards. So we can feel really, really good about that. But going back to how we invested in this team, Tommy Shepard's basically saying, let's let these guys figure it out. We like this core group. Let's have them work together. We're seeing things from players like Deni Avdija that we just would hope for. Something that I've seen him in the last 4 games is he's not forcing it anymore. Like, he's really trying to let the game come to him. I wish Kyle Kuzma could do some more of that, because he does seem to force it. And I'm starting to become a believer in him, because at first I'm like, when's it going to catch up with him? And some games it does, but still he bounces back and has a 30-point game against Toronto. So you can't really deny his scoring ability. I'm getting all over the place, but the point is that the idea that we're buying into this team and letting it breathe, to me, is very interesting. And I think it speaks volumes about how Wizards management sees this team, for good or for bad. They're at least buying into a program. And in years past, it's just so wishy-washy where the ideas are. And for me as a fan, to see them not pause, I like that. It was like, okay, let's see what these guys can do. Let's see if they can make it work. Let's let them gel. All right, I could go on tangents about this group forever, but I'm rocking a Zoom setup for now. I will have a setup on OBS soon. I just wanted to get this first pod out, so that's why I'm set up on Zoom. But anyways, so look for a better experience. So the reason why I want to compare and contrast these Wizards teams from the East to the West is because we need to relax. Man, I got this organ on, but let's see if I can find something that just can relax everybody here, like a electric piano. We need to take like a chill time. feel that, Wizards fans? Breathe that in. Relax. Okay? Because when we take a look at the Eastern and Western Conference here, we have the Washington Wizards sitting in the 10 spot, but 30 and 32. Man, I wish we had that 31 based on these stats I'm talking about. And you guys, if we lose to Toronto tomorrow, not all hope is lost, okay? Because the Wizards can still turn this thing around. Because that means we split with them. That's okay. But yeah, we want to win both games. I'm with it. But let's go look at the Western Conference. The Lakers, the hype isn't real, but they have some superstar power. Finals hunting, that'd be a huge stretch. But would it be crazy if the Lakers make it to the second round of the playoffs? If some of you may say yes if you're being harsh, but I'm just talking about pure star power they've got. It seems doable. Okay? That could be a leap. The Pelicans, we have to remember Zion and how hurt he is. I think with Zion healthy in this team, they don't have a problem jumping higher here. But, let's look at this. If we win a couple more games, we're in the same conversation or experience as, the Mavericks franchise, the Clippers franchise, the Timberwolves franchise. Now, I get it as far as management and our players on the team, like what for some of these teams I just said, like the Mavericks got Luka and Kyrie Irving, Clippers have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I get it. Like there is some leaps in what I'm saying, but first off, I think everyone's being too harsh on Bradley Beal this year, and he really is showing up as that guy. So I want that for this year. I think Beal is stepping up to close out games to the level of some of these superstars where people say Beal's not like them. Watch some of these other games because I get it. He has the leads in late game turnovers, but I've seen plenty of games this season, last season, all other seasons where I'm watching Giannis blow it in the fourth quarter or Steph, or they don't always, but you're just used to seeing those highlight clips rolling like crazy. But they have off games too. I digress. Wizards fans, why I want us to relax is because if we can relax after these 2 weeks, but why I want us to relax, if we can secure like a 6th spot in the East, in my eyes, we have started to really turn this franchise around. Because look who you're amongst. The Mavs are in 6th place. If they ended there and we ended there, I get it. It doesn't mean that we're the same team, but it does mean that we're in the conversation. So we have to bump out of this 10th place spot. And as I say a lot of this stuff out loud, I was hoping to do like a deeper comparison. I just feel the Wizard doubt of the fan base in my head that's keep me away from being very strong on my argument. People saying like, we are nothing like the Mavs, you're an idiot. Yeah, I mean, we're not exactly like the Mavs, but the way, this is what I wanted to say, y'all. The way that we view some of these freaking teams, had to draw on here. The way that we view some of these teams, like in this range, is completely different on how we view a team like a Wizards. But there's people out there that really believe the Clippers are going to mess around and win the finals this year. Look where they're sitting in the Western Conference right now. You know what I mean? The Wizards could be in that slot. Now, it doesn't mean that I think the Wizards can mess around and win the title, but my point is, it's like it's all perception based, man. Like we can think the Clippers are this great team because of the star power they have and the coverage that they get, but we could be sitting in the same spot as the Clippers. Can you guys at least get behind that point? We're of this caliber, or let me back that up and say the Wizards can prove this year that they're of this caliber. And maybe rather than here, I'll circle what I mean. What if we can prove that we're of this caliber? Any team that could sit there. There are some good teams that could sit here. And that's what we'll call it. We'll call it good teams. The teams that sit here, you ain't got to worry about them. From here to 5, good teams. And then if we go on up from there, we'll say from 1 to 4 is great teams. And again, new to the podcast game, I just realized not everybody will see. I'm highlighting the 5 through 8 seeds of the Western Conference, and then the 1 through 4. I was circling those, saying 5 through 8 is good, 1 through 4 is great. Okay, and we can be in that good caliber, and we have to get there before we can be great. We have to get good before we can get great. Oh, I want to bring that organ back. We have to be good before we can be great. And so I just say, go Wizards, go, man. What's up, something for go? Oh, that's a little too much. Sorry about your ears. This is what I was going for. How about this? Wizards gotta go. Come on, Wizards. Go to that at least 7th seed this year, but I would love to see 6. So what do you guys think? Can the Wizards make it to the 6th seed? I don't know, but I'm feeling really good about how this season is trending now that we've won these last 2 games. They just have to show that they can be consistent, because that's been the Wizards' biggest killer this whole time, is consistency. I'm not going to go off on too many tangents. I feel like for a first pod, I made my way through it. I got to play the piano just a little bit. Don't worry, you guys. I'd like to add a lot more of that into this. Glad I got the first one out of the way, though. That's all I got to preach about today. And hey, man, Wizards, go get them. Wizards, go, go, go. That's what we'll say. Charge, Wizards, to 6th place.